Hey, good morning. It's Coach Jill, and it's Tuesday morning. This is our group transformation call. I have with me Coach Penn and Coach Paula. Good morning, ladies. How are you this morning?
Morning.
We had a great call last night. Excuse me. We had some great topics that we were talking about. We are on, if you started with us at the beginning of April, you should be on week 2 of level 2, which means you're continuing with the juice cycling protocol. And you do have your schedule assigned again to you this week if you look inside the workbook for this week. And can you adjust that? Yes, you absolutely can adjust that. If you have things going on in your life, if you have different events coming up, please make sure that you're checking in with your coach. If you want to adjust those days, your coach can definitely help you to adjust those days and make the week work better for you. And this is really the time to try that on, because this is when you really want to get into learning how to customize this program to make it work in your life. So once you're done with the 90 days, you're going to know exactly how to make this work in your life and how to continue with this. This is not a program that just ends at day 90. This continues. This is meant to be a lifelong change. So do we all still do cycle? Absolutely. Absolutely. We plan our weeks. We know what days we're doing A days, what days are B days, what days are C days. And yes, now do we, as you progress through this, are you doing as many A days? No, not necessarily. Not necessarily. Ladies, how many A days do you do a week?
I maybe do one a week, and then it just depends, on how I'm feeling or what my goals are, or for sure what my schedule looks like at the gym. So because A days are a lighter fitness day, stretching, walking, that kind of thing, I try to fit them in around my gym time. So for me, my gym time comes first.
Penny, how about you?
I do 1 to 2 depending on what the week looks like. My activities, is the weather good? Can I get outside? Is it raining for every day? I have to do inside. So I try to, minimum one, typically 1 to 2, or I'll do a juice fast. I kind of alternate, if I think I need a 2-day juice fast, maybe a 3-day. So I just sort of play it by ear, really.
Yeah, and that's the key piece here is as you move through this program, and as you have your body is pretty well detoxified after that first month. You may have a little bit more tweaking to do on that, but as long as you're staying on plan or pretty close to on plan, you're not going to go back to that toxification level that you had previously. You eliminated out all those inflammatory foods, so things like the sugar, the gluten, the dairy, the soy. You've eliminated those all out of your body, so you're not going to be toxic to those levels. So is it necessary to continuously juice fast? No, it's not necessary. However, one juice fasting day a week it's really healthy. It's very healthy, and it has been studied and it's been shown that doing a weekly day of juice fasting is healthy for your body. It gives your gut a rest, really gets you get your metabolism revving at its maximum capacity because you're doing that intentional calorie deficit, but then you're also combining that with doing C days, B and C days, so you are going to get maximum effect out of your metabolism by doing it. So it is a healthy thing to do. So I do encourage you, even when you get to your goal weight. Somebody's anxious to beat you, Paula. Still include in that 1-8-8. Now, there are instances where you may not need, and we have a couple clients who've really lost weight very, very easily, and they're very active. I, in particular, have one client in mind who she works out like a fiend, and it's part of what her life is. It's just part of her life. For her, juice fasting just does not fit in with what she does because she does work out so excessively, and it's part of what she does for a living. So she adds juice in each day. She supplements her diet with juice, but she really needs the B and the C days to give her body enough nutrition to do the workouts that she's required to do for her living. So there are instances, and this is why this program is completely customizable, because we can work with you depending on what's going on in your life and where you're at, and make this program customized exactly to your life to make it work for you. So that's part of the reason why you have a coach. They're here to help guide you through. They're here to set you up for success. And, you know, even beyond the 90 days, if you choose to keep working with your coach, if you need that accountability and you want to stay working with a coach, you know, that's perfectly appropriate. We have lots of people who continue and work with coaches because they like the accountability of it. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to talk to a coach every week. Maybe you're going to go to every other week, or, you know, once or twice a month, depending on that. So those are key pieces, and to know, you know, what you need, and to be cognizant of the fact that, hey, yeah, maybe I need to check in with somebody every now and again. You know, that's the beauty of the mindset piece that we work on with this program, is you knowing what your, you know, limitations are and what you need to do to get beyond those limitations. So now they've totally gone off on a different tangent away from week 2, but anyways, so make sure that if you are, you know, if you need to adjust this week's schedule, you touch base with your coach. Okay. Let's see. Let's talk about, I know we had a couple questions last night, and I just want to kind of bring back on those. We had a couple of things about doing juice fasting days and still having a lot of, I would say, poor effects. So things like stomach upset, diarrhea, things like that. I want to touch base back on that real quick. How do you know if you're reacting poorly to maybe what you're juicing, or, you know, it's not necessarily it's not necessarily the process of juicing that's causing those effects. Oftentimes, at this stage of the game, it can be what you're juicing. So I don't want you to have this misnomer of, well, I can't juice fast because, you know, my body just can't handle it. No, you know, the thing of it is, you need to look at what you're juicing. What are you juicing? So break it down. Really break it down. And don't be afraid to break it down. It's interesting because I've had clients who say, well, you want me to taste everything individually? Yeah, I do. I really do want you to taste things individually and see how they work in your body, because you're going to know right away. You're going to know right away. And you may be juicing something that, you know, everybody else is juicing. You think, well, everybody else is juicing, and why can't I do this? It just may not work for your body. So if you're having those effects, if you're still getting some diarrhea, if you're still getting, you know, some stomach upset with any of your juices, you need to break those down individually. So juice those components individually, figure out what you're struggling with, figuring out, you know, what pieces you can't juice. And that's okay. There's so many other things that you can juice. And maybe you need to move away from the sugared juices. Maybe you can't have beets and carrots and apples and things like that in your juices. Maybe you need to go to the greener juices. That's okay too. And I know there are some people who just can't tolerate the very green juices. They can't do it. So maybe you're going to add a quarter and half of an apple into your juice so that it's more palatable for you to get it down. That's okay. That's okay. This program is really about figuring out what works for you. Paula, Penny, is there anything that you found that you can't juice?
No, I don't think there isn't anything I can't juice. There's definitely things that I've learned that I don't like. And what's interesting about this week for the for level 2, week 2, is that the first part of the week is AR juices, and the second part of the week are BB juices. Mm-hmm. So now is really the chance they should be able to see, especially if they purposely do AR now and BB at the end of the week, how their body feels with and without that sugar. And then there's going to be a taste thing. So what you're talking about in tasting each ingredient individually will help them decide what they can put together when they have no sugar in their juices that might be palatable for them. When I don't have I don't use carrots at all anymore. Beets occasionally, apples not really. I've gotten into, I do a lot of mint, a lot of parsley, and a lot of cilantro. Not necessarily all together, but those tastes I like. So generally I can make my juice taste better by adding that, and also adding a little ACV to it will change the taste and make it more enjoyable for me.
Now, let me ask you something, Paula. When you first started juicing, were you doing apple? Were you doing some of the sweeter things?
I was, because if you recall, when we first went to the Beta Breakthrough, I was like, I made a comment that to me it tasted like I was drinking dirt. So they were very hard for me to get used to in the beginning. But again, once you leave that sugar, and your body will get used to it. Most of the time, I have to think that your body will get used to it. Sure, not for everyone, because it's not the same for everyone. But now, like I said, I don't. I juice lemon and ginger in most every one of my juices. Those are my flavorful, sometimes more ginger, sometimes more lemon. Just depends. But I've come to enjoy it so much that it really doesn't bother me anymore.
Mm-hmm. Penny, how about you?
I cannot juice kale. Kale does not agree with me at all. I've tried it several times. No, it does not work. I can't eat it. I can't juice it, which I hate because it's so good for you. But there's plenty of other good things out there. When I started, I did put a whole apple in with my green juices. Then I went to a half an apple, and now I don't use any apple. I do love lemon or lime, mostly lemon, and ginger. And I love cilantro. I love the herbs. I love parsley, spinach. Like all that's so good for you. And so that's what I go to.
Yeah, and it just takes time. You need to give your palate time to adjust. And I will tell you now, back when all of us first started, we were trying on things like garlic. And I think did we have onion? No, we didn't have onion, did we? No. No, we had garlic. There was something else, though.
There was a couple. We did,
I can't think of what it was. There was something else, but
Drew did that awful video with I think it was like green pepper and something.
Yes, that was Karen with the green
Karen made her sick. Oh my gosh, it was horrible.
There's going to be things that are just not for you, and that's okay. It's really okay, and you will adjust. I think when you first start doing herbs, they're a little intense. They can be a little intense if you're not used to them. So you want to start out with small, because a big amount is not always better. I know sometimes we think, well, if a little is good, you know what? Gradually introduce yourself to that, because you are going to taste it more, because you're getting the juice of it, so you're going to taste it. So you need time to adjust to that. And one thing I remember, and was my first experience with dandelion greens, and I've talked about this before, that, they're very detoxifying. If a little is good, I'll do a whole bunch. And it actually made me lightheaded. So you have to realize that when you're trying out something new, small amounts, try it out first. Don't go gung-ho on this. Paula's had a similar experience with cinnamon. May's had experiences with, what did she juice? I think she did garlic. And garlic is also very detoxifying. It can make you lightheaded. So it's realizing that there's going to be things that are going to affect each of us differently, and be open to that. And don't completely think, well, I can't juice. No, it's just one. It might just be one item. So this is really a time of trial and trying new things on, and deciding, how you want to move forward. And that's okay. It's okay. So, that's the key piece. You're going to move from Alpha Reset to Beta Breakthrough this week. This is going to be your first, trial with that. And start to try on some new things. You don't just have to stick with the recipes that are in the program. If you're going to go to the farmer's market, if you're going to go to your produce place, see what's there. Try some new things on, try some new produce on, make some interesting combinations, have fun with it. Absolutely have fun with it. I know we talked about this before, but one of my favorite combinations now is something that one of our coaches in the UK first talked about, which was beet and grapefruit. And those are not two of my favorite things at all to eat, but I love them juiced. Absolutely love them juiced, especially when I can find golden beets with the grapefruit. It's just perfect. And I know several other coaches are now drinking that same combination.
Mhm.
Um,
I love it with ginger.
yeah, it's really good. And and the other thing is your palate is going to change, because I know when I first started juicing ginger, I mean, it was like this minute little piece, and now now it's like a big hunk of ginger in there. So you do change. Your palate does change, and realize that is going to happen. Even though you don't think it's going to happen, it will happen. So we've all changed through this process, and it doesn't come right away. It takes time. It takes time. So um, I think with that, we'll wrap up for today. I just want to kind of retouch on those few things. If you have questions, make sure that you're checking in with your coach. If you have not turned in your results for the week, make sure that you get those into your coach. This is how we customize for each of you. So we need to see those results. Even if it was a bad week, get them in. It's okay. It's okay. Remember, these are stepping stones to success. So if you had a bad week, that's okay. Still get those results turned in, because that allows us to help you customize and see success for this next coming week. So have a great week, everybody, and let us know how we can help you. And we look forward to hearing the results from next week. So bye-bye, everyone. Thanks, ladies.